Your cat's tail is moving right now, or it was 10 minutes ago, and you had no idea what it actually meant. You probably guessed happy or curious or maybe just annoyed at nothing in particular, but here's the thing. Your cat's tail tells the truth way more than their face ever will. Most owners just never learn the language. One of the 5 signs I'm about to show you happened in your house this week. You just didn't catch it. By the end of this, you won't watch a swishing tail the same way again. So here's the mistake almost every cat owner makes, and honestly it's an easy one. You see the tail move and your brain fills in the blank with playful or curious. That's what a moving tail looks like it should mean. But a moving tail is talking, and it's not always saying something good. Miss the wrong signal enough times, and stress doesn't just disappear, it builds. Quietly, underneath everything, until it turns into hiding, or swatting, or a cat that just seems off for reasons you can't explain. So today, 5 specific tail movements, what each one actually means, and what to do the second you spot it. Let's start with the one that looks like nothing at all. Picture your cat walking across the room, but instead of that tail standing up tall behind them, it's dragging low, almost brushing the floor. Not tucked, not hidden, just low. Most owners know the opposite look, that confident tail held straight up like a flag. And they've been told that means a happy, secure cat. This is the reverse of that. And it's easy to miss because a low tail doesn't look dramatic. It just looks like nothing. Here's what's actually happening. A cat carrying its tail low is trying to take up less space. It's trying to be smaller, quieter, less noticeable in a room that suddenly feels too big or too unpredictable. Think about how a person hunches their shoulders, walking through a crowded subway car, trying to shrink down so nobody really sees them. That's your cat's tail right now. It's not sick, it's not necessarily in danger, but something about the space feels like too much. You'll usually catch this one in the same handful of situations. A move to a new home, a new pet in the house, even something as small as rearranged furniture, a couch that moved, a new smell by the door. None of that seems like a big deal to you. To a cat that reads its whole world through familiar layout and scent, it can feel like the ground shifted. The tail drops because the cat feels unsafe in its own space, not because anything is medically wrong. So, what do you actually do? Don't scoop your cat up and force cuddles, and don't chase them down to help. Give them more places to hide and more places to climb, a shelf, a cat tree, even the top of a closet. Vertical space and hiding spots let a cat recover control on their own terms. Let them come back to confident on their own schedule. This one's sneaky because it doesn't scream for attention, it just quietly shows up and gets ignored. The next sign is a little louder, but it gets misread even more. Now picture this one. The tail is moving side to side, but slow, deliberate, almost like it's dragging through water. This is not the fast, loose flick you see during play, and that difference matters a lot more than people think. Here's the mix-up almost everyone makes. Slow feels calm to us. A slow heartbeat is calm. Slow breathing is calm, so a slow tail must mean a relaxed cat, right? Except slow and tense is a completely different animal than slow and relaxed, and the tail alone won't tell you which one you're looking at. You have to check the body. A relaxed cat is loose, sort of melted into the couch, muscles soft. A tense cat with the same slow swish is stiff through the shoulders and back, sometimes with the body pulled slightly away from you already. This swish is often a warning shot before a swat. Here's the scene that happens in almost every cat household at some point. You're petting your cat, everything feels calm, maybe they're even purring, then out of nowhere a paw comes up and swats your hand. It feels sudden to you. It was not sudden to your cat. That slow swish had already started 30 seconds earlier and you just didn't catch it as a warning. What it actually signals is sensory overload. Too much petting, too much attention, and the cat is asking for space before things escalate to teeth or claws. So watch the ears right alongside the tail, because tense ears plus that slow tail swish is basically your cat saying, "I'm done," before they have to say it with a swat. The moment you see it start, stop petting. Let them decide when contact starts again. That one at least gives you something to watch for. The next sign is so small, so contained, most people never even register it's happening at all. This one is small, so small most people never even register it as a tail movement at all. The tail itself is still, resting, doing nothing. But the very tip, just the last inch or two, flicks. Once, twice on its own, like it's not even connected to the rest of the tail. Owners miss this one constantly, and it makes sense why. It's not a big sweep across the floor, it's not dramatic. Your eye catches motion, sure, but something this small reads as background noise, so your brain just files it under nothing and moves on. Except it's not nothing. A twitch that small and that contained means the irritation is small and contained too, for now. Your cat isn't at the point of a full reaction yet. They're holding it in. Think about a person clenching their jaw when they're annoyed but not ready to raise their voice. Nothing about their face is dramatic, no shouting, no scene, just that one tight muscle giving them away if you happen to be looking. That's the twitching tip. It's the tiniest possible leak of a feeling your cat hasn't decided to act on yet. You'll usually catch it in situations that seem harmless from where you're standing. Petting that's gone on a little past the point your cat actually wanted. A loud noise from the TV or the street, kids getting a little too close, a little too loud, a little too handsy for your cat's comfort in that exact moment. None of these are big events. That's exactly why the tail's response is small too. What it signals is early. Not panic, not full stress, just the first thread of annoyance or unease starting to pull tight. This is the calm before the actual signal, the one where the tail starts moving for real or the ears go back or a paw finally comes up. So treat the twitching tip as the first warning, not the last one you get. The second you spot it, back off. Stop the petting, quiet the noise, give your cat a little room. Catch it here and you never have to deal with what comes after. But here's when people get completely backwards. Your cat is curled up tight, tail wrapped all the way around the body, or tucked in close between the back legs. To most owners, this reads as cozy, sleepy even. A cat all bundled up looks like comfort, so that's the story you tell yourself. Sometimes that's true, but there's a version of this same shape that has nothing to do with comfort, and the difference isn't in the tail at all, it's in everything around it. A cozy cat is loose. The body sinks into whatever they're lying on, eyes half closed, ears in their normal resting position. An anxious cat holding that same tucked tail is stiff through the whole body, ears flattened or turned back, and they're usually pressed into a corner, under furniture, or tucked into some small space that isn't their usual nap spot. A tail wrapped tight around the body that way is a cat protecting itself. It's pulling its most vulnerable exposed part in close and making its whole presence smaller, quieter, harder to notice. You'll see this show up at the vet, in the car, or when a new pet or a stranger enters the house for the first time. These are moments where the environment feels unpredictable and your cat's entire posture is built around getting through it without being seen. What it signals is fear, plain and simple, not shyness, not a personality quirk, fear about the specific unfamiliar situation in front of them right now. So the move here isn't more touching, even if your instinct is to comfort with a pet or a hug. The move is removing whatever's causing the stress, quieting the room, ending the car ride, giving distance from the new pet, whatever it takes to lower the pressure your cat is under. And this last one is the one most new owners get completely wrong. Here's the last one, and it trips people up because it looks like the opposite of a warning. Your cat's tail, the same tail that's usually flicking or swaying or doing something, just stops. Completely. Not resting, not relaxed, rigid. Frozen mid-motion like someone hit pause. Most owners see that stillness and relax right along with it. No movement, no drama. Must mean the cat's calm, right? That's the misread almost everybody makes. But a body that goes rigid isn't a body at rest. It's a body that's locked up on purpose. That's freezing, and freezing is a threat response, not relaxation. Think about a person mid-conversation who suddenly goes quiet and stiff, jaw set, shoulders locked right before an argument breaks out. Nobody looking at them would call that person calm. They're bracing. You'll see this the moment a new pet gets introduced and your cat locks eyes on them from across the room. You'll see it when a stranger walks through the door or when some sound outside cuts through the quiet. A car door, a bang, a bark. The tail goes still because everything else in the cat is going still too. Every system pointed at one thing. What it signals is high alert. Your cat isn't calm, it's bracing, and this is usually the last stop before a hiss, a bolt for the door, or a swipe if you push things further. So don't walk toward a cat like this, no matter how much you want to reassure them. Give them an open path to leave the room and let the space stay quiet. That's the help they actually need right now. 5 signs, 5 different movements, but the same truth sits underneath all of them. Your cat's tail talks before your cat ever does. You just have to be watching. So that's the real function of the tail. It's an early warning system telling you exactly how your cat's environment is treating them, long before anything turns into a bigger problem. Tell me in the comments which one of these 5 you just recognized in your own cat. I'd genuinely like to know. Like the video if this changed how you'll watch your cat tonight, and check out the video on the screen for more signals you've probably been missing.